Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome into episode 118 of the Second One podcast. Joining you today is myself, Shiz. We also have Mr. Mo Snell, and we also have Playoff P, aka Tyson Green.
Yeah,
Fellas, how are y'all feeling today? Happy Black History Month.
It's,
I'm
man,
feeling amazing, man.
it's, it's, it's a great week.
Great
My, my
week.
my podcast is brought to you by this beer, this cherry beer right here.
What is all I see is Westbrook.
Westbrook. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, triple double cherry beer. No, it's
What's the percentage?
six.
This
Okay,
man.
not bad. Six. Anything above 4.5, you doing something.
Oh, I don't drink. If it's 4.5, it's fucking piss
Oh,
water.
it's
I'm not
all-
drinking that bullshit. It's this box that I get every month. It's called Traver. It's an app you can go to whatever you use to download apps. You can download it, right? And you can literally pick the beers that you want. They're all craft beers. You pick them, and then they ship them right directly to your house. Um, they're a little expensive because I've never gotten a beer that's under 6%. Like this 6% is low. They're usually like 7 or 8 in their
Okay.
pints. And they got flavor. Like this is a cherry sour, but they got a whole bunch of beers. It's pretty cool. Like I said, you go on the app, you download the app, you go in there, you pick what beers they want, and they just ship it right to your house. Like you don't have to go nowhere. They ship it to your house, and it's 100% illegal because somebody over 21 has to be there to sign for alcohol. But they literally leave it on my doorstep,
Okay. All right, cool.
so it works.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe they, when you signed up, that you have to like put in your information and like, social security number and all that, or
No, you don't gotta go as far as social security number, but yeah, you gotta put your age because you can't even buy alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to verify that you're old enough. But yeah, man, it's a pretty cool app, man. Get you all types of crazy beer. Like I think I've sent you all the pictures of all the beer that I get sometimes. Like I might get like 30 beers or something like that sometimes.
okay, all right, I take my weekly trip to the ShopRite liquor store over here, but if I can get it delivered to my doorstep, that'd be good.
Yeah, but on this you can't buy like Heineken or anything like that. Like
Nah,
this is all craft. Like people make this themselves.
Yeah, they ain't got no Bud Ice on there. All right, man. Let's get this thing started, man. So how this podcast works? We talk mostly about sports, hip hop, politics, and everything in between. I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. And if we offend you, we apologize slightly. How we usually kick things off, we have our taking a shot segment where we give a bold prediction about one of the topics I just named. Collectively we do about 80%, but when you're taking a shot, you're bound to have some hiccups here and there. I'm gonna kick this thing off. Take it to this NFL, man. You know what? Let me play a little sound. Play a little sound for you. Little sound for you. Take it to this NFL.
I like it. I like it.
This will be Jared Goff's last season as an NFL starter. No, he got shipped out to Detroit. Detroit didn't really want him, but they wanted those picks. So, they compromised. They're in a full rebuild. They gave their coach, Dan Campbell, a 6-year contract. That's kind of rare these days, especially for a first-time head coach or, a new head coach. And I just think Jared Goff he's just like a bridge quarterback, somebody that can, run an offense. Can we hike the ball efficiently? Can we hand the ball off to the running back efficiently? Can we complete a 5-yard out route efficiently? Jared Goff can do those things. And, kudos to Sean McVay for getting Jared Goff to a Super Bowl because if you look at him, he's very limited. Everything has to be so precise with him. Like the play has to be one or two options. Either you throw it to Rob Woods or you dump it off to a running back. He can't improvise. He can't really move, too well. I mean, he's not like stiff like Joe Flacco or something like that. But he can move a little bit. But his decision making, if it's not clear and cut for him, he makes many mistakes. So I say that to say this: Jared Goff, you know, kudos to you getting to a Super Bowl. Kudos to you getting to a playoffs a couple times. But my brother, this will be your last year as a starting quarterback. You'll still have a career as a backup. Somebody gets hurt. They need somebody to do some spot duty. They'll put you in. But this will be your last year as a starter. And that's it. Playoff P, aka Taheem. I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Man, as much as I hate to say it, I think you're right. But I don't know where all this Jeff Goff hate is coming from. Like, to me,
It's
yes.
it's not hate. It's just like the jig is up. Like that's
Yeah, I was
that's
about to
what
say.
it is.
I started to say earlier, as Mo says, the jig is up.
Yeah.
My thing is he is still a serviceable quarterback. Like I think he can still start in the league. I think he is a system quarterback though. I think you need to put him in the right system. I don't think McVay is hyped up to what he is supposed to be. Yeah, Jared Goff got you to the Super Bowl. He was the one taking the snaps. He was the one making the reads, making the throws, making the passes. McVay just draws the plays up. And my thing is, yeah, they got Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford had a broken back last year. Like, I understand. Like they're in win mode. They're in win now mode. But it's just to me like, for one, I don't understand that trade. But I don't.
Oh, you mean Matt Stafford? Because you
Yeah,
said
what I say?
you said Sam Bradford. I was like, what the fuck? What happened?
Damn. I stay messing people's name up.
Yeah,
I
was
don't even be care.
Yeah, I was trying to. Yo, I was thinking. So I was like, yo, is Sam's back in the league? Like, what did I miss? Okay,
Sam,
Matt Stafford.
but Sam was another one though. Sam bamboozled the league for basically a decade. But
Yeah, he did.
no, but yeah, like I understand the trade. The Rams wanted him. They wanted to get out from under Goff's contract because that was fucking super heavy on him.
Yeah.
But my thing is, and it'll be crazy if he goes to Detroit and this crazy ass coach that they got now, the one that's talking about biting off kneecaps, he turns it around and gets a system that Goff works in, and then he's right back to being relevant again. But I don't think that's going to happen. And after this, I don't think there's going to be other teams that say, "Oh, let's go out and get Goff and make him our number one." So.
No.
I think he is going to get forced out of the league, but I think he's getting a short end of the stick. I think he's still a starting quarterback, but yeah, I think
All
you're
right. Just know your thoughts.
Yeah, I'll give him 2 years, only because this year the line like they would likely pick a quarterback this year, and then the following year would be your time to get like weapons or offensive line, and then let those guys get acclimated and put that starting quarterback in. So I'll give him. He'll be starting for 2 years. He'll probably get pulled year 2, like game 6.
Oh yeah,
Like
I could see that. Yeah,
something like that.
So maybe I could change like from a year to a year and a half. I don't see him starting 2 more complete seasons.
No, I could. Well, yeah, he may not just physically. He may not make it through a season. Like he may just get hurt.
Their O-line is that bad? Well, I mean, yes.
I mean,
what's name was always hurt.
Yeah, Stafford.
Stafford was always hurt.
Yeah, the Lions. They have a couple good receivers. Swift, the running back, shows some promise.
But their receivers, I think, are all free agents.
Yeah, they're free agents, so more than likely either one or both are going. So
if I was them, I would go on. I don't care how much money you offer me.
yeah, it's a.
I'm not staying in Detroit. And I think on the open market, they might not get as much, but they'll go to better teams.
Yeah.
just get me to a winning
organization. Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Taheen, what is your taking the shot, sir?
Oh, so I'm going to go out to Santa Clara, aka San Francisco.
Go ahead, man. Speak.
Yeah, that scared me for a second. I didn't know what was going on. AKA San Francisco. So in the news, they've been talking about this Cousins swap for Jimmy G, bro. I don't want this to happen, but I swear to God, I think they're going to do it.
What chat rooms?
That's out there. I
swear to God, I think they're going to do it.
I seen that.
Just because, like, and it's kind of like the 49ers, I think is a great organization, but they're known for doing that one dumbass thing, right? They haven't done a dumbass thing in a long time, and I think the jig is up. I think this is going to be their dumbass thing that they do. They're going to go out there and get Cousins. One of the reasons why they're saying they're going to get Cousins is just because of the relationship that he already has with Kyle. And then I think Cousins had his best years under Kyle. But I really don't see I don't see the difference between Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins. To me, they're the same person, like the same abilities. They're not super mobile. They can get you a first down if they need to. They're going to miss reads. I just think the hype around Cousins is
Yeah.
When they were losing by like 40 points, he would go out and just throw the ball down the field, and miraculously he would have like 500 passing yards a game. And they think that's going to translate, which I don't think it is, because the 49ers have offensive weapons, but they're not like those wide receivers are built like running backs to me. They're just fast and can catch the ball. They're not 100% like true wide receivers to me, unless they go out and draft one or get one in free agency this year. So I think they'll be stuck in the same situation if they go out and get Bradford, and then not Bradford. I keep saying that dude's name, yo.
What happened, yo? You was watching some old highlights or something? Like why is this man on your mind?
Bro, I don't know why I keep saying it.
But you know what? He was on the Vikings, so okay. I give you another
for
pass.
A year. No, you don't gotta give me a pass because I literally just said it out of nowhere again. But anyway, yeah, I think they're going to pull a trigger. I think they're going to go out and get him. And I think it's going to be stupid because I don't think it's going to be a 1-for-1 swap. They're probably going to give up draft picks or something like that to go out and get Cousins.
See, it's one thing to do a swap of quarterbacks, but if the 49ers are giving up picks too, like then because it's a literal coin flip as to who's better. Like I think Jimmy G might be a little bit more mobile. Like Kirk Cousins can't move really at all. Unless it's like a bootleg or something. But that trade, I saw that trade. I was just like, why? Like,
it doesn't make sense.
What can Cousins do that Jimmy G can't?
And I think it's just for the relationship that Kyle has with Cousins.
I guess,
like he believes in him. I would say.
I guess durability is an issue with Jimmy G. I guess that might be a reason. But man, if you're just talking about talent, I think Jimmy G is a little bit cheaper actually than Kirk Cousins.
And that's nothing I was going to say. I don't know what their contracts look like.
Yeah,
I know Jimmy G will be in this upcoming year. He'll be in a third year of his contract.
I think Cousins just got extended. Like I think he had like that 3-year all cash deal.
Yeah,
I think that was 3. This was the past year was the 3rd year, so I think he extended it somehow.
Yeah, he extended it, and I'm not sure. Jimmy G. His contract, he's been with the 49ers.
I think his was pretty expensive, but I think his was front loaded. So I think this 3rd year coming up is the last big year that they have to pay him, and then after that, it's kind of team friendly. I think it could be this year that it's all team friendly, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Snow, what are your thoughts?
I mean, man, that seems like just a lateral move. If there is a lateral move, if you ask me, like you said, the only difference between Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins is that Kirk Cousins believes in my motto of the best ability is availability, and he's on the field every week. Besides that, it's not much of an upgrade. I think a lot of what Kirk Cousins does is he gets you in a position where you're down, so then he could then rally you back. So it's like creating your own, you're creating your own chaos or you're creating your own victory type of deal. So I don't really respect that much. So if I'm the 49ers, I wouldn't do that. I would rather see what we can do, what type of package we can get together to get Deshaun Watson, or trade Jimmy G for, try to get a high draft pick and just start with a rookie quarterback. If those are my, I'll give me both of those options before trading for Kirk Cousins, if you're asking me.
Yeah.
So like anything, let's get Andrew Luck out of retirement sweepstakes. Let's try that one out too.
I heard he might come out of retirement too.
Yeah. I tried it all.
The rumors are out there.
Yeah,
and he's not coming to the Cowboys. I saw that comment still in the group chat. He's not. The Cowboys are not looking at him. It's the Colts. I think the Colts still have his rights. So if he came back,
he'd have to go to the Colts, or the Colts have to trade him. It was kind of like the Marshawn Lynch deal. Like he retired, but he was still a Seattle Seahawks. So the Seahawks actually had to trade him to the Raiders.
To the Raiders, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I did some more looking into that rumor, and it was more like somebody saw a text message or something. It was. I don't think there's any validity to it.
It was like something about. Yeah, you're right. Like a text message, and it's like, oh, but that's the first step for when people come back.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, I was like, oh wow, is there some truth in this? Like some truthfulness to this? Or then I looked into it, was like, yeah, this is the text message that Andrew Luck got from a friend. I was like, all right, this is nonsense, but we'll see.
So, but wait, before we go on, you said something interesting. So if he did come back, you gonna want him before you pay Dak?
Nah, because first of all, he's been out the league for 2 years now,
Okay.
and he's soft. You know what? I'm not going to say he's soft. His
Andrew was getting knocked around
Nah,
when
he
he
was.
played.
He's just you can't trust him. Like if he comes back and let's say he takes like 5 sacks in a game, he might just retire again. And I would rather just roll with Dak, who's going to leave his whole heart on the field and play to the best of his abilities. He'll play on one leg if he could, as opposed to Luck, who he might have 2 bad games in a row, and you're just going to always be on edge, saying, "Man, I hope you don't retire this week," or "Man, like I hope you don't sit out this week." Like I would just keep Dak, but don't. I did think about it for about 2 seconds, and I was like, "You know what? Can't do it."
I was just trying to make sure because I know you don't like to see black people prosper. I know you went out there and got that. Because you wanted Andy Dalton, so I mean,
Didn't I admit my faults on that? I said I was completely wrong.
And
And
then you wanted
I
Derek Carr.
I apologize. Derek Carr is out there. I don't know, man. Like I think I've learned my lesson that just the thing, like you know what, we talked about this too many times. So, like this whole paying Dak thing, man.
It's all good, man.
But,
it's all good.
All right, before we move on though, just real quick, and then Snow, you're taking a shot.
Okay.
So Wentz got paid. Things looking real shaky.
Yeah.
Goff got paid. He's on another team. Kirk Cousins got paid. They want to ship him out. Jimmy G got paid. They want to ship him out. Matt Ryan got paid. Who knows what his future is? The only successful people Deshaun Watson got paid. He wants to leave. The only successful scenarios where quarterbacks being paid top money and it works is Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and that's kind of it. So my reservations about Dak is legitimate in my opinion. Like we have all of these problems with all these quarterbacks that have been paid. I'm just a little cautious. That's all. That's my whole point.
I think if you look at all those quarterbacks and the way you said it, I think all the quarterbacks that got paid and are willing to stay, they believe in God, and then the other ones are heathens. No, if you think about it, Russell Wilson believes in God. Jared Goff, he might be satanic.
I don't know, but I just gave you 7 quarterbacks that have problems with their current team that have been paid. I have my, if we give Dak, a top tier contract, our roster has many holes, many holes. So if we're giving Dak all of this money, while I do think Dak is a very good quarterback, he's not the Mahomes or Russell Wilson. Even Russell Wilson, they lost in the first round. Like Dak is not enough to literally carry a team. He's more like I need a lot of talent around me, and once I have the talent, I can uplift them to the next level. It's not like I can carry a team, and that's my problem. But we got many more weeks to talk about this Dak. We'll just move on. So now, what is your taking a shot, sir?
Listen, man. My taking a shot this week, I'm calling it. I figured it out. I know where Deshaun Watson's going. We can book it.
Breaking news. Here we go.
I think you can book them to these New York Jets. Okay. I think the situation has gone. It's going to the level of a pride situation. That's what I think is now starting to get involved. But I think Houston is going to try to purposely send Deshaun Watson to the worst possible team, which in this case and scenario will be the New York Jets. And the New York Jets, being the New York Jets, will give up everything you possibly heard about in any type of trade speculation of like what could be. What would be enough? Like I think the Jets will give that up. So they'll give up the picks. They'll give up the young defensive players. Like they'll give it all up to get Deshaun Watson. I think the Jets are the landing spot, and that's where it's going to be at. I have my insiders.
If I'm Deshaun, I still have the no trade clause in my back pocket. I just don't see why he would go to the Jets. I mean, I do understand if you win in New York, you're a made man. Like you can live on the mountaintop forever. But if the Jets have to give up, all these picks and then Quinnen Williams, it's kind of like, damn, like what do you have? Like they don't really have any receivers. I mean, Mims is okay. He has something. We got to see more out of him. Their running backs, they don't really have anything. Defensive wise, they got rid of Jamal Adams, obviously. Quinnen Williams will probably have to be in this trade, so your defense is going to be shaky. I just don't know. Like they do get Mosley back. He hasn't played in like 2 years, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I if I'm Deshaun, like I'm not going to the Jets. Like
Listen, man,
I'm good. Like send me to Miami because Miami can offer something similar to the Jets, or send me.
they're too good.
Oh, so you think the Texans want to stick it to Deshaun too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think
I can see
that's a part of that's the part of the other part of the equation is that they're not going to send him. Now I don't. Before I was like, you know what? They're probably going to try to be tactical, get him out of the NFC. I mean, get him out of the AFC, try to get him into the NFC. But any team that in the NFC would also be too good. So now I think they're going to try to ship him to the Jets, and almost like if we're going to suck, you're going to suck too. Like I think that's where they're at. So the Jets, at least the Jets can promise you, like, hey, we got a big left tackle, so your blind side to be protected. That's about all they got for you for right now. And then Deshaun Watson, I think like I said, it's only so far he can push until it's like, hey, if I don't go to the Jets, like I'm stuck here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I have to opt out for a year. Like, nobody's really trying to do all that.
Yeah, it's definitely. We'll talk about this a little later. That this is a situation that's just, man, I'm not sure what's going to happen. The Jets are definitely like one of the betting favorites to land them, but I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Like the Texas phone lines got to be ringing off the hook on a daily basis. Like, yo, what do you want for him? And the Texans say they're not trading him, but I mean,
I have it on good authority. The deal is done.
Ty, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. Like everything that Mo is saying is 100% correct. But Deshaun has that clause in his back pocket, the no trade. But I think he wants out of that organization so bad that he might go, because right now, if the Jets don't get him, I think they're built or set up in the right position to be like a contender in the next 2 years. But the Texans want way too much for Deshaun. Like the Jets would have to give up everything that they have to get one player, and I just think in that situation the Jets lose way too much because they're going to want picks, they're going to want players. Like the Jets just don't have that much to give up, get Deshaun, and still be, in the playoffs for the next 2 years. So, I mean, I don't think it happens.
Keep your notifications on. That's all I'll say.
All right, so round of applause for our taking a shot segment. All right, moving on. We have a football game this week. We have Super Bowl 55. Snell, your Bucks are in it. I told you before the playoffs started that the Bucks would be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. You're welcome. So I'll let you lead the way, man. What are your thoughts, man? I haven't experienced my favorite NFL team in a Super Bowl, so I don't know what that pressure feels like in my adult life. So the floor is yours, man. Talk to us.
Listen, man, it's the same as usual. It's the same as usual. This is going to be a tough game. I'm definitely not a fan of our secondary going against any top quarterback. So that's anybody going against Patrick Mahomes should be nervous. But with this secondary, I still don't trust them. They just cannot be trusted.
You do get Winfield. You get Winfield back though, right?
Yeah, and that's like, and Winfield's a good player. I've enjoyed watching him in his rookie season, but he's not like an all pro. He's not an all pro safety. You know what I mean? Like he's not even like, to be honest, like if you talk about all pros, he's not even like honorable mention for an all pro safety. And you know what I mean? In NFC or AFC. And like direly need him on. Like he has to be on the field.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. So like he can't. Like I don't care if he's hurt or not. Like he cannot not be on the field, and he's not even like a Pro Bowl caliber player right now. So that lets you know where our secondary is at, and you're going against Patrick Mahomes. Really, this game is just going to be, really our defensive line against their banged up offensive line and their receivers against our secondary. That's kind of where everything lies at for me. Like that's the game. I think like Tom Brady will only be as good as like the field position that we put him in, and the same thing for the Chiefs defense. Like they'll only be as good as like where Tom Brady gets the ball at. Like if we get in short field, like they're not going to hold him to nothing. But if you got to make him work, they'll get you some stops, this, that, and the third. So it's going to be a close game. Obviously, it's my team, so you know who I'm going for. But I'm just never a fan of an elite quarterback going against a bad secondary. It's just always that lingering chance of like they just get hot and it's over, and our secondary just loses confidence and getting burnt every other play. So, but I think the Bucs have a real shot. Being that we played them once, I think they have a real shot. They've got to see the speed of Tyreek Hill, so to back up. Like that's the big. That was like the big thing is like, hey, like we got to see, we got to see this speed like firsthand. Like he's that fast. Like so that'll be good. It's just I don't know, man. It's just can that secondary hold up, man? Todd Bowles can be stubborn at times.
Yeah.
Start bringing these crazy blitzes that don't work, and we getting cooked for a half, and then finally he figures it out. So it's gonna be a close game. I'm praying the Bucs win. I will be watching this one in solitude. As I thought you were
about to say silence.
Yeah, pretty much
TV on mute.
No,
I've done that before. I've done that before. I remember I was watching North Carolina in a championship game, and I watched the whole game on mute. Like I just did. I saw they was going on a little run. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave this thing on silent, and hopefully this run continues. But not. Yeah, there's no way in the world I can watch a Super Bowl with anybody. Not even curious. I would have to be by myself. Like there's no way.
I gotta be in solace to watch. Like the NFC Championship game, I was in a sweat. Like I was like I'm coaching on it. So, but that's just one. I got to turn. I've done it all playoffs. Just put that phone. But outside of Washington, I talked a little bit, but put that phone away. Like I don't have time for like side comments or like I have to fully be focused on the game, and that's it, man. So I think it's going to be a good game. That's all I think, man. I just think it's going to be a good game, but I can see how it can get ugly fast.
Yeah,
like I can see. Like we've all witnessed it. Like this can get ugly fast. So
yeah. All right, Tahir, what are your thoughts on the game?
So before I get into the game, I don't know if you see a trend. So last year the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. That's my favorite team. And this year the Bucs are in the Super Bowl. And I can damn well tell you the Cowboys will not be in the Super Bowl next year.
Come on, man. Come on. The second and one podcast magic, man. Like, we are next. The Bucs didn't make the playoffs last year. Now they're in the Super Bowl. Now my team didn't make the playoffs this year. Hey, the table was made.
Hey, if they make the Super Bowl, then we are literally magic. But this is like, and like Mo said, like when the 49ers won the Super Bowl last year, I watched the game by myself. Yeah. I'm gonna watch this game by myself. But
COVID protocol. Like I'm gonna watch it. But I'm gonna be at home too.
Yeah. But this is gonna be a super interesting game. I'm super excited for it because you got Patrick Mahomes going up against Tom Brady. But who do I think is going to win? I honestly think the Bucs are going to win. I think it's going to be a super close game. I think Todd Bowles is going to once again come out there and call a defensive masterpiece.
I mean, I haven't seen a masterpiece yet, but
I think he's going to be able to not stop them, but contain them in the red zone. I think that's where they're going to make their bread and butter. I think they're going to. So the Chiefs are going to score, but I think the Bucs are going to force them to do too many field goals. They're not going to get touchdowns, and I also think the Bucs will cough the ball up once or twice during this game. Not the Bucs. I'm sorry. The Chiefs will cough the ball up once or twice this game, because if you watch the Chiefs, like they're a high powered offense, but they make mistakes. They do make mistakes. I think Todd Bowles will capitalize on those mistakes, and I think Tom Brady will come out and capitalize on those mistakes. I think having Tom Brady as your quarterback does wonders for your team because he will allow that team to get emotionally where they need to play, but not get over emotional. Like he will keep them in the zone, keep them in the game. Because I think what tends to happen is, teams get into the Super Bowl, whether they're down or they're up, they get too emotional, and then the game gets away from them. You know what I mean? Like if they're down, they kind of get down on themselves, or if they're up, they kind of get super happy, and they don't play with that laser sharp focus that they did. And I don't think Tom Brady's going to let the defensive side of the ball do that, or the offensive side of the ball do that. But I think I think it's going to be a super close game though, because the Chiefs do score so much. I think for a lot of this game, the Bucs will be almost like playing catch up. Like the Chiefs will score first, then it's the Bucs, then the Chiefs, then the Bucs, and the Chiefs, then the Bucs. They'll always be within 7 or 3 points, but that's what you want when you have Tom Brady, especially going to the fourth quarter. You only want to be down like 3 points or 7 points. If you go to the fourth quarter with a lead, you almost safe to say that you're safe because he knows how to protect the ball and he knows how to get points to get you over the top. You know what I mean? So in this game, I'm going to have to go with the Bucs, but close game.
Yeah, this game I think is going to be really really tight. And one thing the Chiefs do is they'll spot you some points. Like they spotted the Bills.
I'll take them.
Yeah, they spotted the Bills 9-10 points, and even going back to the last year when they spotted the Texans 24 points, and the 49ers were up in the Super Bowl. Like they will give up.
The 49ers were up 10 points in with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so they will spot you some points. Now the key is stopping that avalanche, and the Bucs. I think if the it's two keys for the Bucs, Shaq Barrett and JPP, they got to come off the edges with authority. Like they got to come with some viciousness. The linebackers, they have to really, really jam up Kelsey. They cannot allow him to just be running free. Now, the X factor, Tyreek Hill. I mean,
get back.
Like he is so hard to defend because he's so damn fast. And like one of the things, like a good thing, Todd Bowles, like you guys have played him, Todd Bowles, he's seen his speed. Now you just got to wonder what Andy Reid is going to draw up for him. Like if Todd Bowles decides to like double team Tyreek Hill, like do they put Tyreek Hill in the backfield and kind of cause some chaos before the snap or something like that? So the chess match there is going to be very interesting. Now, I do think Brady, he's already going to he's always laser focused, but this one in particular, he says his family hasn't even been in the house for like the past 2 weeks. He's just been in that 22,000 square foot home by himself, just focusing on the game, which could be good or bad. I mean, that much space and that much silence, I'm not sure if that's necessarily good or bad, but we'll see. But in regards to this game, man, like I think it's going to be really tight. The Bucs, if the Bucs can get ahead, I feel good because Brady knows how to sit on the lead. But if the Chiefs, I'll say this: if the Chiefs get up by more than 2 scores, I think it's over. I don't see the Bucs being able to come back against the Chiefs. But if the Bucs have a lead, they're able to convert on first downs. I have the stats somewhere saying that the Chiefs are 30th on giving up first downs on second down. So if the Bucs can stay ahead of the chains, maybe Leonard Fournette has a good game going. Get a lot of first downs. You stay ahead of the chains. The Bucs will give themselves a really good opportunity to do so. But overall, man, I hate to say it, man. I just got to go. I'm going to go Chiefs here in a really, really tight one. Something along the lines like 35-32, 40-37. It's going to be one of those just wild back and forth games. I do think the Bucs jump out to a lead. It's just going to be up to Brady and the rest of the team to see if they can hold on. Like just literally hold on for dear life. Hold on to that lead.
That's pretty
And
much it.
I just think that the Chiefs make a couple plays late and they find a way to win it and lead it into our next topic on this game. Like I think if Mahomes was able to get his second Super Bowl back to back, he's on the fast track to being, labeled as one of the best of all times. Because I would expect them to continue to win going forward. But if Brady was to win this one, I don't think there's any way that Mahomes can catch him because Brady at this advanced age would have his 7th Super Bowl, and then also on his resume, you have I've beaten the best quarterback in his absolute prime right now. Like I beat Mahomes in his prime. I'm 40 years old, and I just beat him. My first year in a new team, new conference. Like there's just no way that Mahomes will be able to recover from that. So the legacy talk is going to be massive. If Mahomes wins, he's on a fast track to becoming the best of all time. If Brady wins, I think he kind of puts the best of all time thing to bed forever. Yeah. But we'll see. But Snell, what are your thoughts on the legacy talk, like for Mahomes and Brady?
Well, yeah, I like you said, Mahomes for sure is going to continue. It's barring injury, he's already on the track to just because of his skill set. He's already on track to be, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, unless he just doesn't win another Super Bowl again. You know what I mean? Like the team just breaks down. He just doesn't ever win again. But how he looks and how his team looks, he's definitely, if he doesn't get it this year, he's definitely getting another one at some point. He's just just too talented. So I definitely think it would, but this would speed it up. This would put it like shit, he could stop playing. You know what I mean? Like it starts putting it in that range of like he doesn't even need to play anymore.
Yeah, he's already a Hall of Famer.
He's one of the best I've ever seen. Like it kind of puts it in that talk. But if Brady won, I mean, you know my thoughts. I've already said, get him his statue. Like he can get a statue in Tampa Bay like now. Like retire his number, put a statue in outside Tampa Bay like right this moment. Like he doesn't need to win another football game to me, just because I've never seen like outside of like Jordan, I've never seen somebody give like a team like confident boost like plus 99. Like that's how it felt like when Jordan, you know what I mean? So I think if he won this championship, I think it puts him in that talk of like who's the better like like it starts putting him in like who's the better player, like Jordan or Tom Brady, like because of like what they did, as far as bringing a team along, as far as just from a confidence standpoint. It's like, it's no way without him. Like in this game, right? Like even if you get down, like even if you're the Bucs, right, and you get down 17-3, or you get down 24-3. If Tom Brady's like, yo, we can come back, like I've come back from this before, like you got to really like look him in his face and believe him because he's not he's not lying. And that's how I feel like you know what I mean? Like when you have like Michael Jordan, like it doesn't matter who you got. Like, yeah, we got Bill Cartwright. You know what I mean? Like, you just got random guys like, yo.
Luke Longley.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, yo, who we got? We got Luke Longley. Yeah, we got John Paxson, Steve Kerr. Like, it ain't that fast. They can shoot though.
They was killers.
Yeah, we about to go win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. It's just that confidence boost that you can't really explain, but they have that effect. So if Tom Brady was to win this one, I think that's when you start getting into like, so is it Tom Brady or Michael Jordan? Like that's the conversation you start. You start to have that kind of conversation.
Now, I heard this comparison. I want to gather your thoughts. Somebody said that Brady going to the Bucs is equivalent to Jordan going to the Wizards. Do y'all agree with that?
No.
I don't agree with it either because Jordan was out the league.
Who said that?
Yeah,
I saw it on Twitter. Twitter's the Wild Wild West.
Oh,
like,
the Wild Wild West said that.
You'll see anything on the Twitter streets, but I thought it caught my eye. I was like, no, because Jordan was out the league for a couple years afterwards.
And then at one point, didn't he had ownership in the Wizards, right? And they were sucked so bad that he came out of retirement, but he had to give up his ownership, right?
Yeah, I think that was the the scenario.
Yeah, I think that was a scenario. Like he came out of retirement just because they were so trash, and he hated his name being attached to something like that. And he came back to, kind of help them out, and of course, scratch that itch that he had to play the game. But this Tom Brady thing is not that.
Yeah, no, I think like the Wizard, they stink. They stink.
Yeah,
like,
they still stink.
I mean? Yeah, like they draft like when he was on it, like they drafted Kwame Brown type. Like that's a whole different.
Him and Kwame Brown was on the same team.
Dumbest team in America.
Yeah,
for real.
That was a bad. That I see where they're going, but that Wizards team was bad. Bad.
Yeah, they were hard. Didn't they have
that Rip Hamilton?
They had Deshaun Stevenson? Some horrible players, real bad players.
Young. They had them young though, like they had like the young Rip Hamilton, like not running off screens in Detroit. Rip Hamilton, like we got the young Rip Hamilton, like bringing up the ball.
But all right, Tiny, what are your thoughts on the legacy talk, like for each quarterback if they were to win this game?
I think Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. I don't put him in the GOAT conversation yet, just because he hasn't played long enough for that. Because he can go out and win this Super Bowl, and then get hurt, and then he's still down 4 Super Bowls to Tom Brady.
Oh no, I wouldn't say he was the GOAT. It just fast tracked him on the way to being the GOAT.
Yeah. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, like, just from watching other sports shows and stuff like that, like people are saying, "Oh, Mahomes could be the GOAT," and I'm like.
Not with 2. Nah,
yeah, I'm saying he's really, really good. He has the potential to be the GOAT, but because even if he wins this one, like, so what? He has 2 to Tom's 4, and he could get hurt in the next 2 years and not win another Super Bowl. But to me, I already think Tom Brady is the GOAT when we talk about quarterbacks. But if he wins this Super Bowl, I think it puts him in another realm. Like Mo was saying, like now you have to start looking at him and Jordan, like who is the best athlete of this century, of this decade, of this eon. You know what I'm saying? Like who is the best that did it? And like on the winning percentage for like championships and things like that, and just what you did for a team, I would definitely say like you got to compare him and Jordan. But I think when you talk about like attitude and his tenacity to win and what he does to like stay in shape and stuff to win, I think you got to compare him to Kobe, maybe even Kobe and LeBron, because those are the guys that they might take a day off the day after the season is over, but then after that they're right back into the gym, they're right back into their routines of taking care of their body. And Tom Brady is the same way. Like to them, it's all about the game. Like you said it before, like Tom Brady kicked his entire family out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of thing that he's on. And if it pays off, it just shows that mentality is the type of mentality that you have to have, or you should want to have, if you're trying to be in a conversation of being the greatest of all time. Because Kobe is in that conversation when we talk about basketball. LeBron is definitely in that conversation when we talk about basketball. So these are the guys who, put in the time and work when other guys were sleeping, going to strip clubs and all that and stuff like that. Like these guys were getting to work in. But yeah, if Tom Brady wins another one, then we start talking about crossing sports.
Yeah. Now I have a question for you, and then we can move on. So let's say Mahomes wins this one, right? So he'll have 2, and Brady will still have his 6. So Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls. He'll be 6-4. Mm-hmm. So let's say Brady doesn't get to another Super Bowl after this one is done. He'll have 6 Super Bowls. He'll have 4 losses. Let's say Mahomes, he wins his second one. He gets to 3 more Super Bowls and wins those 3, but those are his only trips going forward. So at the end of his career, he has 5 trips to the Super Bowl and 5 Super Bowl wins. Would you label him better than Brady then, or would you still label Brady better because he has the one extra one?
I think it depends on the games, I think. But,
I think it depends. To me, it depends on the games. They're talking about like in what aspect is he the greatest? Like if we're talking about athlete, like talent wise, I think he's probably better than Brady now. But if we're talking about just like an overall understanding of the game, that killer attitude, I think you got to go Brady, because Brady was like the last pick. You know what I mean? He came in as a backup and only got his start because Drew Brees like broke his rib or something like that. He got his chance and never gave that spot back. Mahomes was always going to be the starter. He was being groomed for that position. So in terms of that, like he had a leg up on Brady. Like they knew, they traded up to get Pat Mahomes. Ain't nobody traded up to get Brady. He was
Yeah,
just there.
no, I get that, but I mean, once Brady established himself as being Brady, I'm just really talking about like a numbers thing. Would you prefer the 6 rings with 4 losses, or would you prefer the clean 5-0? That's really what where I'm getting at with the question.
Oh, if he goes like if he went like to 5 Super Bowls and never lost one, I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that really probably separates Tom Brady is that 28-3 comeback that's like that's like getting 4 Super Bowls in one, because that's just like that's a crazy comeback in a regular game, like in a
Yeah.
regular football game. To do it in the Super Bowl is like just unbelievable. So that's the thing. I think like that 6 is a big 6, because it's just like that 6 one is like you got 5 and you want, because I think like for me that Super Bowl win is the one that really separated like Tom Brady from Joe Montana. Like I still felt like there was kind of but Joe Montana never, every time he got there, he put it away. Like it was still kind of that, and that one was just like, all right, you can't deny it. And also what Taheem is saying about I think the thing that would be the knock going forward is that Patrick Mahomes has the bigger engine than Tom Brady. So he's the better athlete, has a stronger arm, like he's a higher draft pick. So it's almost the equivalent of like, yeah, like Patrick Mahomes is a Maserati or a Lamborghini, and he gets beat by a Ford. Like it's just like, you know what I mean? Like so it's just one of those things of like, like Patrick Mahomes naturally has the bigger engine, so you expect him to be better. He has the bigger arm. Has the speed. He has all of these speedy receivers, these Pro Bowl tight, like, so he has all of this talent on offense. So you expect that, while Brady is that
Brady has had like garbage truck drivers.
journeyman wide receivers.
And he went out there and won Super Bowls. And you got to remember too, his first Super Bowl was against Kurt Warner in the fastest show on turf, or whatever they were, like the biggest show on turf at one point. And they went into the Super Bowl as 12-point underdogs.
Yeah,
and won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, this will only be the second Super Bowl out of the 10 that Brady's the underdog. So
yeah, and I mean like and like if you look at years past, Brady has better weapons now than he had then.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I just think it's like, I think if you're looking at the total package of the career, what they did, how they won, the games, the scores, I think it's going to be really, really hard to beat Brady when we're talking about the GOAT, because he's done it all. Like, and that's not to say Patrick Mahomes might go 5-0 in the Super Bowls.
That's what I'm saying. Once that's what it just came to me. Like, let's say like Mahomes did get to but the thing is, like, you also have with Brady, like, man, he got the 10 and won 6. Mahomes only got the 5, but he won 5. Like it becomes like a really interesting argument. But
and it's like Brady was at the Super Bowl, and I think I saw it on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. They did the statistics. Like they said Brady was in the Super Bowl more times than some people like their careers, if you talk about like time wise or something like that, like the percentage. And I was that's crazy.
10 times is
he's been 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So for 10 years, he's been in a Super Bowl, when you got some guys that only play in the league for 3 years.
Yeah, it's totally insane. But yeah, closing on that, hopefully it's just a great game. I hope they win for you. Like that'd be, that'd
yeah. I hope they win.
That'd be great to see. And the storylines of Brady going to a different team in a different conference and winning in his first year, that'd be quite amazing. But moving on, we kind of touched on it earlier. We talked about Deshaun Watson. Texas say they're not going to trade him. We'll see what happens with that. But we had old Brett Favre on a show talking about Deshaun Watson is making too much money to really speak out. He should just play and shut up. And the whole shut up and dribble thing came up. In this case, it's shut up and throw. I just think with Favre, like, just go back and drink your Milwaukee's best and leave us alone, man. Like you are so out of touch with that opinion. It's just like I'm not going to say it was a racial thing. It was just like out of place. And I understand what you did back in your day, blah blah blah. But still, man, you like Brett Favre was out there not showing up to camp. Like he would show up to a team like
The
all
day
right,
before.
like all right, 1 week before week one, all right, I'm here. So he's flawed too, and then the allegations of like sexual assault and all that stuff came up, or Texas and all that. So no, yeah, Brett Favre got a history, but
He's out there touching people inappropriately. I didn't know that
far.
far.
So Brett Favre,
Check you out.
yeah, Brett Favre
Rapist?
has a history. So I just think it was misplaced. I'm not sure if he's going to issue an apology. He might be just too old to set in his ways. But Deshaun Watson, especially if he was lied to by the front office and the head of the organization about certain things that was going to take place and it didn't. Sure, like make your noise, man. Try to get out of there. But yeah, Brett Favre, man, just be quiet, my brother. Actually, you're not my brother. You're just a person.
I like it.
Snell, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think this is a case of like, first off, that Brett Favre has been hit a few times, so you always got to take it easy on him.
Yeah, he got that sleeping CTE.
Yeah, but now I think this is a case of, like you said, like I think sometimes like older players get caught up in the money, and they're not understanding like that's the new
Because they didn't get paid as much money.
Exactly. So it's like, what? Like how much? If you look at like Brett Favre's career, he probably makes half of Deshaun Watson's like contract. You know what I mean? Like his current contract. So when he sees like this guy sitting out, he's making all this money. I feel like that animosity is always there. I think that's where a lot of like anytime you start getting like older players versus younger players, I think that's where the hate comes from, is the fact that these younger players are making more money. And if there's anything wrong, it's always like, oh man, for that money,
Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do that.
Hey, if I was making that much money, like listen, man, that's the way, that's the way inflation works, man. Like the dollar goes up, things get more expensive. Like that's the way it all works. Like so, I think it's more of that. It's just like because I've seen like even like Terry Bradshaw like criticize. I've seen him like criticize quarterbacks like in a similar fashion, not to this extent, but like, oh man, you're making this guy's making too much money not to be prepared, and it's like every quarterback's making the same amount of money, like so. But his critique is coming from like, how can you play that poorly and you're making that much money? Like that's where his critique is coming from. And I feel like that's where Brett Favre's critique is coming from, of like, yo, how could you not go out there and play? You making all this money. Like it took me 5 careers and getting hit by Michael Strahan to get this. So yeah. I think that's where the critique is coming from. But I also think Brett Favre is a little off nowadays. So I don't think he said it correct. But at the same time, he should just shut up, because he also the same thing. He basically tried to demand his way to certain teams also at the latter years of his career.
Yeah,
so
like Vikings, Jets. He was all over the place.
Yeah. So I like that's all it is. I think it's just a gap. Like I don't even know if a no trade clause was around where like Brett Favre was in his contracts. Like I didn't think that was an option. So
yeah. Taim, your thoughts.
So I don't think his comments come from a racist standpoint, but I definitely do think they come from, if you can say this, like an equality standpoint. Because when you think about it, it's really only Caucasian NFL players that come out and speak out about African American players when they hold out or they're demanding trades off of teams. It's kind of like, yo, mind y'all fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you retired, you old, you did what you did, you got CTE. Ain't nobody trying to take your medicine away. Like, calm down, brother. Keep it casual. Because then I think if Deshaun Watson says something back to Brett Favre, now Deshaun Watson's the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Brett Favre started this. Like, if Deshaun Jackson said, man, chill out and take your medicine, which he is 100% sure, right? We want Brett Favre to continue to take his medicine. Yeah. He's the bad guy. So I actually looked the numbers up. And yeah, Brett Favre did not make as much money as Deshaun Watson did on this one
No,
contract.
not even close.
Yeah, not even close. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I hate. Like, get that hate out your heart, son. That's what I hate.
I get that hate out your heart.
That's where that hate comes from. Of like, yo,
Because
he get how much? Like,
Brett Favre in his entire career made $137.8 million.
Yeah, that's a
Deshaun Watson's current contract is $156.
Yeah.
That's you got to get that hate out your heart. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Deshaun, do what's best for you.
Yeah,
And,
man, for real, do what's best with you.
You know, tell him.
Yeah, but I agree. I also
my money.
I also agree somewhat with what Taheem was saying also too about about black players holding out, because like when Joey Bosa was holding out, nobody really said anything to him,
And nobody said nothing to him.
and he and his contract was like it was like structured. It was just like a rookie deal, and it was structured, and he was still trying to hold it.
Exactly. He just want more money.
Yeah. So
Yeah. All right, moving on. We already talked about Cousins and Jimmy G being traded for each other. Kind of doesn't make any sense.
It's like a fraction with two zeros on it. Like, what are you doing?
It's like that Dodge coin. Like
Yeah, it's like what's happening?
Yeah, but we're coming to the conclusion of the NFL season, and it's never too early to start thinking about next year. As far as my Cowboys, I'm not sure what's going to take place. Signs are pointing towards us signing Dak long term. Hopefully, we get that done.
The smart signs.
The signs are pointing towards that. I'm glad we didn't get into the Matt Stafford sweepstakes, because I think that would have been just crazy to do. If Deshaun Watson somehow becomes available for Cowboys, we would have to entertain it. But we need help in all. We need help on the offensive line, defense, every position. So I don't know, but one team that I have I know people are down on Stafford, but as currently constructed, I think the Rams are definitely a strong team going into next year. Depending on, I can't really make a prediction yet, because we don't know what other trades are going to take place, draft picks and whatever. But on this current day, I think the Rams are definitely they're on track to be in the NFC Championship game, depending on what else takes place. As far as the AFC, Chiefs right back. No matter what happens in the Super Bowl, they'll be right back in it. Buffalo, maybe let's see if they can do it again. Maybe I don't think they take a step back, but I'm not sure if they also have the same type of season that they had this year. And then there's always going to be a surprise out there. Maybe the Dolphins get right. One team I'm going to have my eye on, and as like an early sign of a firing, them Cardinals. If Cliff Kingsbury can't get this team on the right track early, them firing whispers will start to come hot and heavy. So
and that's wild, because like when they first hired him, he was supposed to be the savior. You know what I'm saying? Like he was heaven sent.
There was really no excuse for them not to make the playoffs this year. Like,
it's
especially
crazy.
after that
It's
start.
crazy. Well, what's name got hurt?
He was hurt, but he played like the last 3, 4, 5 games.
Yeah,
and
but he played hurt though.
They lost a game. I have to go back and look at the schedule, but they either lost to either the 49ers or they lost to a team they shouldn't have lost to, because the 49ers have obviously been hurt. I'm going to have my eye on them, and I think the Texans, they're on track for an 0-16 season. Lions 2-14.
Texas might go 0-17. They might lose that bye week too.
Yeah, well, actually, there might be 17 games next year. We'll have to get into that. But yeah, man, I'm just glad that the season actually got through.
Yeah, man, I thought they would stop it at week 10.
Yeah, amongst all this COVID.
Man, I tell you what, man, I was in the gym the other day, and I normally never talk to people in the gym. But I had my 49ers thing on, and the dude was talking to me about the NFC West, and the trade or whatever like that. And we were talking. I was like, man, I'm 100% sure there was more positive cases than those teams let out.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a whole team that popped positive, and they was like, yo, just burn those files.
Yeah.
Retest.
Yeah, we got those was false positives, but you got them 5 times. False.
Yeah. But all right, cheers to the NFL. All right, moving on. Quick pit stop to the NBA. The Nets had an interesting week. They played the Washington Wizards, lose to the Wizards, who only had 3 wins, and then the following few games they play the Clippers and beat them. So this team, there's just too much firepower for them not to do well. I think they're definitely going to the NBA Finals barring injury, and they're just coasting right now, in my opinion. And as the season goes on, and they get more chemistry together, they're going to be really hard to defend. The Bucks, they've gotten off to like a kind of sluggish start. I think they're only like 13-8 or something like that. Definitely not as good as we thought they were going to be. And
The
other
Bucks?
team, yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah,
I
so,
mean, me personally, I didn't think they were going to be that good, but okay.
I thought they would be better. Drew Holiday was a good addition, in my opinion, but maybe it's just early. Teams trying to get used to all these COVID protocols, and I guess it's just a little weird at times. But yeah, man, I think the Nets they're definitely going to be a threat for the championship. I do think they're going to win the East. Do you guys have any thoughts on the Nets thus far?
Yeah.
I think they're going to win the East, and I think their defense is going to slowly improve. Out of those three, I think the MVP of the league is going to come out of there, and I actually think it's going to be Harden because I think he's going to change the style of his game. He's always going to get his points, but I think he's going to be like a major facilitator. You know what I'm saying? Like he might be doing like Russell Westbrook numbers and like average a triple double.
Well, you think Harden's going to win the MVP of the league?
Yes, not the beer league, the league that he is in.
I don't know about that, but
I think they're gonna give LeBron one. He's old one now. Like they've passed it around enough that it can circle.
Oh,
back.
so he has to come back to LeBron.
Yeah, it has to circle back to him. Like they've.
I mean,
passed,
if
they've showed enough parity that it can go back to LeBron now, and he can get another one. So I think they'll give it to him.
I feel like if he deserves it, he deserves it. Yeah, but I don't want them to give it to him just because it's because the narrative. Yeah, I mean, if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. It's not coming back.
Yeah.
I don't want them to give him the championship just because of the narrative and be like, oh, he's the oldest MVP. Like, it's LeBron still doing LeBron. Like,
that's why.
Yeah, that's cool. But if Harden or if whoever's a contender,
I think Durant has a real shot to win it. Like his numbers are just amazing. Like he's averaging like 31 points a game.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
50%.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
And I thought he might win comeback player of the year and MVP because why not?
Because it's just the NBA. It's just like the NBA is so like when it comes to the awards, it's so like it's just so like staged to me. Like they try to spread with the MVP. They always try to spread the MVP out. Like Jordan should have never not won MVP of the league. Like for instance, that's like one example. But like they want to spread it out to show that there's like parity in the league because that's what's good. That's what sells. Like you have Harden got it, then you start giving it to like Giannis because it shows like all right, the Greek Freak won the MVP. Like he can beat LeBron. Really, his team won't even get to the NBA Finals. But it's good. You know what I mean? It's good for the NBA. So this year, I just think it goes back to LeBron. Like so, you'll get like two good stories. Like LeBron will get another MVP. Kevin Durant's comeback player of the year. Like, so they just try to spread it out, man. They that seems to be the motto. It's just like spread it out. The more storylines we got, the better.
All right. Moving on. Apparently there's going to be an All-Star game. I think so. It's scheduled for March 7th, and I think this is a wild idea. Like,
I don't think it's going to be any fans though.
But even with that, like, man, you got players coming from all over the league, and I know it's a money grab, but if COVID is the priority here, when you got players coming
it's
from
not. We know that
when you got players coming from all across the country into one location, like, are they going to have to quarantine for a week, or what's the process in order to get this this All-Star game through? And I just think it's a crazy idea, but money talks. So they're going to try to do it, and I'm hoping they're successful. I enjoyed watching the All-Star game. I thought last year's All-Star game was great. But logistically and people getting sick, I just think it's a bit of a crazy idea. But hopefully they pull it off. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a 1 day thing though. I think they're going to play the game and have all the festivities in 1 day.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just I think the world is starting to open back up and get to the point where, hey, COVID's not going anywhere. So if you get it, hopefully you live. As you see in Jersey, I think they extended the curfew for some restaurants. And a wild thing about it is we have more cases of COVID now than we did when they first shut it down. So, I mean, so what are we really doing? And it's not about, the health, like you said, Shiz. It's about the money grab. Like, it's about the money grab and people being, like, stir crazy in the house and not wanting to chill the hell out. They're like, oh, I got to get out of the house. I got to get out of the house, even if it kills me. All right, that's fine. Go kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real reason I agree. I agree with that, and one thing I do agree with is back to what Shiz says. It's the NFL. I think if you have a bar, like these businesses are, so a lot of like restaurants or bars, especially like bars, they're already in trouble. For the most part
before COVID, they were like, they were red.
Yeah, exactly. So then to just you got to close your bar at 10 o'clock Super Bowl during the Super Bowl. Nah. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like that's really like that's it. Like that's there's no saving. There's really no saving you there. Like that, because after the Super Bowl there is no
Yeah, you gotta
big
wait till March Madness. That's like the next biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's a long.
That's a hard 2 months, like
exactly,
or a hard month and a half, like.
And I think that was the. I feel like because football's on a Sunday, a lot of games are played during the day. It was okay, like that was a justification of it. But with the Super Bowl, I think it was like, hey, we need the Super Bowl revenue, like dire. You know what I mean? Like I think it's starting to get to that point. That it was needed. So I think that's also. I think that I'm not saying that's the only thing. I think, like you said, like people are going stir crazy, all that. But I do think the Super Bowl coming up, I also think that had something to do with it as well. Because if you're a bar and you're dying, and then it's like, you can't show you have to kick people out of a bar like mid Super Bowl. Like that's just
tough.
That's tough. That's a lot of money. Like that's a lot of money lost. Like a whole lot of money lost.
Yeah, especially like you said, playing catch up from not being able to be open past a certain hour to close on a Super Bowl Sunday early. It's just like, come on, man. Like help me out. Like, yeah. But like I said, hopefully with this All-Star game, if they do attempt to do it, which looks like they are, like hopefully they can get it done safely. And, I'll definitely be watching if it's on. So, round of applause to them.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm not there. I ain't gonna get COVID.
I don't get. Like you said, I don't get it, but I'll watch it. Like, hey, for
sure. I'm gonna definitely watch it. But speaking of like spectacles, we got. I don't know what's going on in the sport.
It's because of COVID.
Yo, the sport of boxing is getting a little bit out of control. So, we have some celebrity boxing events on the way. The first one, I'm not sure when it's scheduled, but we have Lamar Odom. First of all, let's just a round of applause for Lamar just being alive. Round of applause for that. Round of applause for that. But he's supposed to be fighting.
He survived that Kim Kardashian or whatever that shit is. That Kardashian.
He was in the brothels and the Bunny Ranch. Like he's just all over the place. But he's alive and well, and apparently he wants to get in the ring. To me, this just says like, hey man, I need a check. So he's fighting a dude named Aaron Carter.
You know who that is, right?
That would be.
It's the dude's brother. Backstreet Boys or something like that.
One of them.
Yeah, it's like one of them.
The younger brother. I know he was on Nickelodeon at some point.
Yeah. That's where he was at. He was on Nickelodeon.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just, like, so what are the rules for this? Like, no knockdowns. What?
I don't know, but
I think it's a little. I think the fight is supposed to happen in like the summer, so we got a little time. But
so this is the thing. I don't know how tall. What's his name? Aaron Carter is. He's not 6. He's not 6'9". He's like 6'7" to 6'9".
Yeah, he's not as tall as Lamar Odom.
So to fight someone with that type of reach in a boxing match may be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
Let that man get his money, man.
Yeah. Best of luck. Best of luck to Aaron Carter trying
to defend those jabs.
Exactly. Like, you're fighting a guy with
going to punch you from across the ring.
A boxing match with probably Lamar. I feel like Lamar Odom is probably arm length is probably his reach is probably twice that guy's reach.
Yeah. Definitely.
So
so prayers out for them.
Yeah. Then we have there's no prayers for him.
Yeah. So then we have another boxing match. Jake Paul, YouTube sensation, I guess, versus Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Any thoughts here?
I don't even know who Ben Askren is. No, he's a former MMA, right?
No, he's not. He's not this is the problem. He's not a former MMA. He's an active MMA.
I'm about to say, like, I've seen this dude before.
Yeah,
I don't watch MMA like that, but I've seen him before.
Yeah. No, he's an active MMA fighter. It's knocked out by Masvidal. He got hit with like a flying knee and lost.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no, that's a bad dude. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he got knocked out with that flying knee, but before I've seen him like beat people up bad.
Yeah.
So
you're fearless to step into that MMA ring. That's a different type of.
That's a real person. That's not Nate Robinson. Like, that's
yeah.
Like, this is a dude that's like fighting people. All the time.
like Jake Paul might punch him a couple of times and scare him, be like, nah, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
not working.
Now I'm interested because Jake Paul about to get his ass whooped. Like, that's going to be something.
Like, and so first off, Ben Askren is, like you said, you almost don't got it all together when you step in that UFC ring. Like, you're mentally you're a little off.
Yeah, you chasing something that nobody can give you.
Yeah, but like this isn't like you're fighting somebody who doesn't fight. Like, that dude trains. He if you're training for UFC, you box, obviously. You know what I mean? You train to fight. So
yeah, and I was gonna say, like, what's his what's his specialty? Is he a ground guy?
But his coming up, he was a wrestler, like an NCAA wrestler.
Okay,
but
so
he was like
stamina.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like, I'm about to just, like, this dude's like an NCAA, like, all-American wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he can, like, this is like fighting a crackhead. Like, he can fight all day.
Oh. He's gonna be on the move that entire fight.
Yeah.
Now, so has he had a fight since that flying knee?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has. I don't think he's because I think he got caught with that. He got caught with that flying knee, and then
that might have given him CTE.
That was devastating.
But I just don't think they got a fight scheduling time like before COVID kind of came in, because that was kind of like at the end of probably like 2019.
Yeah,
that fight. You know what I mean? Like that fight. It was probably like towards the back end of 2019, and then it probably took you a while to put your ego back together to before you fight. And then I think COVID hit, and then you start talking about going to islands and doing. He might not want to do all that. And then, but no, I just don't see how like this is. I just see this going completely wrong. Like, this dude's not getting tired. He's just fighting me, just walking through my punches and then hitting me. Like,
walking through my punches.
Yeah. So,
like, come on.
So in addition to this fight, Floyd Mayweather said he will fight Jake Paul if he's able to beat Ben Askren. So
I know Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather knows, like, you're not beating.
Yeah, you're not getting past this.
Yeah.
But then I heard him and his boy Fifth was gonna fight.
Yeah, I heard that's what happened. That's an easy.
I wouldn't advise 50 getting in that ring. Like, I mean, 50's way bigger, but Floyd, the speed of his hands, like it'd just be too much. For
I mean,
50.
I that fight I would watch because of
I think everybody would watch it.
But no, I mean, I think it'll be actually a super interesting fight to see because 50 is so much bigger than him. But like you said, Floyd is faster. So it's just like, Floyd might hit him 50,000 times. But if 50 gets a clean shot in there.
No.
I don't think 50's going to swing and Floyd's going to be on the opposite end of the ring. Like he's going to be going to be so much faster than him.
In an organized fight, no way.
Nah, I don't know because I think 50 are going with a whole nother mindset. Like, because I think 50 understands the ramifications if he loses this fight. Like, you can't tell somebody, you can't read, and then let that person beat you up.
No, this is the thing. In an organized fight where 50 can't grab this man, this is gonna go bad. If it was like, if it was like, a fight broke out in a phone booth, then 50 got a shot. But in a ring with like a ref to break you up it's just no way.
So that's a no-go?
Yeah, that's not why. He may survive if it's like super just cussed, like, the rounds are a minute 30. like just super short rounds and stuff like that. Like they may have to do something like that. But if it's like 3-minute rounds, 12, like 3-minute rounds, 10 rounds, like no way.
Yeah.
No chance.
All right. In another fight that we just was made aware of a little bit ago was Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield, Part 3.
No.
I mean, both of these dudes are approaching senior citizenship. So, I mean, I would watch it. I mean, I was entertained by the Tyson Roy Jones. So if Evander was to get back in there, he seems like he's in still good shape and all. But I'm just hoping nobody gets hurt. That's the end game. Like, don't get hurt. But yeah, if these guys decide to fight, or would you watch?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch Tyson and Roy Jones. I just thought that was like, because, like you said, like, they're too old. You gotta chill. Like, they can't be, because they can seriously hurt themselves. Like, I know we're talking about two of possibly the best boxers of all time, but because I watched the like the pre-fight thing where they do the weigh-ins and stuff like that with Roy Jones and Tyson, and they look like bags of shit. Like, literally, like they're like the muscles was like hanging off of their bones. Like, those were two guys that did not need to be in the ring. Amazing Hall of Fame careers. They did not need to be in the ring. And it's going to be the same thing with Tyson again and Holyfield. Like, we don't need that.
My only thing, like, I saw when Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight, like, Roy Jones was like, I'm not getting hurt in here, and I'm not getting knocked out. Like, I'm doing enough to look good and not get knocked out. Like, I ain't trying to knock Mike Tyson out, and I ain't trying to get knocked out. I'm just trying to get a win, get my little bit of money, and get out of there. Evander Holyfield, like, so the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight was like, this is an exhibition. Like, that's how it was like presented. Like, this is an exhibition fight. Nothing, you know what I mean? Like, just a fight to be a fight. This Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield fight is like, this is the one to decide who's the like.
Yeah,
this is part 3.
Yeah,
like
they put the wrong narrative around it.
That narrative, the narratives are different. Like, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, like, oh, like that'd be cool. Like, just to see those two in the ring. Like, it's great to see them back, both healthy, alive, and doing well back in the ring. But this Evander Mike Tyson fight is being like, oh no, this is the tiebreaker. This is the one that's going.
The trilogy. Like,
exactly. The Clash in Vegas, like something.
Exactly.
Wow, like they about to promote this like a SummerSlam.
One man exits type.
These dudes is like 70 years old and they hyping it like that. Like,
Evander be like, oh, I ain't forget about my ear. Like,
exactly.
Like, The media ain't shit, because they are 100% putting the wrong narrative on this.
Yeah.
And you got these two dudes that 100% have CTE are gonna misinterpreting the information that they're getting. Like they're gonna have flashbacks of Vietnam when they're in there, and they're gonna go ape shit. Like they're gonna have to come out. They're gonna have to come out with elephant tranquilizer guns to put these two down because they're gonna be in there wilding out.
Yeah. That's my only issue I have with it. Is like when I saw it, I was like, oh nah, this is bad, not,
bro.
There's a history here. Like
exactly. Like this.
I'm glad he brought that up because I wasn't paying attention to that. The media ain't shit. They trying to get these two old men in here and kill themselves.
Yeah. All right. Well, round of applause for boxing. Oh yeah, I wrote this down, but this is kind of like a topic that means a lot to me. This NCAA football is coming back.
I thought he was going to say like Black History Month. My man said NCAA.
No, this NCAA football is back.
I'm excited too. I'm happy.
So I was blessed by being able to get the new Xbox last week. Been playing it nonstop. It's amazing. It's awesome. And to
all right. So before we go forward for the listeners and for myself, does this thing make pancakes? Like, why is it $500?
That's generic price for a new console. That's pretty much where they start off, like anywhere from like 3 to 5. And it's a lot. But when I bought the Xbox One, I bought it in like 2013, and it lasted me until now. So hopefully this one does the same for me. So you pay $500 here for the next 7 to 10 years. It's cool. Yeah. But it's I thoroughly enjoy it, and if this NCAA football comes out, man, like just bringing back the great memories of all the dynasties that I've participated in, and built up the programs. Like I'm excited. I'm not sure if it's coming out this year or next year or whatever, but will that make you guys get the new consoles?
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way I was gonna buy. Like I was on record, like the only way I was buying a console is that NCAA comes back. That's it. Madden just wasn't enough. This wasn't enough to keep me there.
I will say that Madden on the new consoles has improved. Like I'm thoroughly impressed. The presentation is a lot better. Everything just looks beautiful. Like everything just looks crispy, just real nice. But yeah, man, you guys got to get the new consoles. NCAA football's coming out. I saw MLB The Show was coming out for Xbox, which is new.
I play baseball.
The show's a good game.
And I saw something interesting where like players on the Xbox Series X and Play guys on the PS5. So they need to start doing that with other games. Like if they could make this NCAA cross-platform, where like
I think it will be. I think it's gonna get there. I think it will.
I think right now Call of Duty is like that.
Yeah, Call of Duty is definitely like that, which is awesome. If they could do that with 2K and then also Madden and NCAA, I'm good, man. Like video games have hit the pinnacle. Like I'm cool with that. So yeah, man. Round of applause to EA getting their heads together and bringing this NCAA back. Let's see. Oh yeah, round of applause for Mr. Bostel by selling these houses.
Yeah.
You about to have a billboard. Like every time I'm driving around, I see a billboard of this dude. It's like Bob Sells or something like that.
Oh right, he different.
Like this about to be a Mo Sells billboard going across this Monmouth County. My brother, how does it feel?
Listen, man, them checks ain't even clear yet, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm broke.
The checks ain't even clear yet.
I'm broke.
But that was cool. That was cool to see. You get your house from your mom. That was definitely nice to see.
That was nice. Yeah, that was a beautiful thing.
It was stressful, but it was worth it. So that's all it is. It's everything that goes into purchasing a home, and then it's like, this is my mom, so like I really can't mess this up. Like she done brought me into this world. Like I gotta hear that. I had to hear that every day. So
but you have to hear that at every Christmas gathering, Thanksgiving. Like Reese sold me that badass house.
Crazy. Exactly. So it gotta be right.
These pipes ain't no good. Like
the roof was bad. Like
everything had to be right. So because it's just like, yo, if not, I gotta hear about this every like ain't no hitting the like I'm gonna avoid this call. I'm not gonna pick this one up. Like,
you gotta
answer. You gotta answer every time. So it was cool, man. It was cool.
Yeah. Now you just got to get ready to move everything in. Like that, you sold the house. That's time for you to move this furniture. We
get movers. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm too old for this, man.
I agree, man. Like when y'all helped me move a few years ago, bringing all that stuff up the steps, I was like, yo, I don't care what else happens next. I'm saving up some money for movers the next time because that shit is just tough. Like I applaud. Matter of fact, round of applause for movers, man. That's a tough job.
I always remember like man, why would you ever get movers? Just get your friends. Like I remember saying that when I was younger, and I was like, oh, this is.
That's why.
Like okay, yeah, because your friend, like you'll lose a couple friends. You keep calling them up.
Yeah, come help me move these. Yeah, like my God.
Yeah, that moving is tough, boy. It didn't
especially with the stairs. Yeah, it's rough.
Man, you need a nap.
I don't for me. I don't mind helping somebody move, but when I show up, just have all the boxes and shit ready. Like have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to get there and we still figuring out what we got to do because that's the part that takes forever.
Yeah, once the geometry gets involved, that's when it gets so which way we gotta go?
Yeah. How we get this couch out?
Yeah, we gotta go up over, then you turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
that's when it gets. That's when it gets
so the couches that's in my parents' house, they had to go through the back door window, not even the door, because it was just such an odd shape. That they had to take the windows out and get it in. I was like, yo, this is some scientific geometry stuff right here. This is crazy. Get sectional.
Bro. At that point, I'd say, you gotta take that back.
Yeah, we're gonna go to IKEA, get you something that's broken down, and then
just put it together in the house.
Yeah.
So. But man. All right. So that was episode 118. Round of applause for that. You can find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also on YouTube. Check out Second One Podcast. If you have any inquiries, you want to send us some something to read, or you got some music, or if you want a house, contact us.
If you want a house,
let us
know at info@secondone.com. Man, we've reached the Super Bowl. I knew the NFL would get it done. I had no doubt. And when people was talking about they're going to stop and pause, I was like, nah, man. NFL is too much money involved to deviate from anything that's going on here. And here we are at the Super Bowl. We almost had a COVID scare by this barber out here giving out bad haircuts and giving COVID. I don't know.
I wish you would have got the Patrick Mahomes first. That's all I asked.
Yeah, you ain't hear about that story of that barber for Kansas City? Yeah, apparently there was this barber. I don't know if he's a team barber or just a barber for a few guys or whatever, but he was cutting their hair and mid-cut, they found out he tested positive for COVID.
Mid-cut.
So they had to get rid of him.
But this is what I'm saying. And I'll go back to this happened in baseball. How did you let him continue into the building without that test being are you about to cut these players' hair? All right, you got to take this test. Stay right there till these results come back. Yeah, and then we'll open up the second door to let you into the facility.
Yeah, I agree.
How does that happen? So how do you be like, oh yeah, take the test? Don't worry about it. Go through.
We'll just wait. We'll let you affect everybody on the way.
And this is not like it was just a super important thing either. It's Monday, you're not leaving until Saturday, and it's just haircuts. What's the rush?
Yeah. That's my that part is just I don't get it. Yeah. I don't get how they how that happens. Now somebody's in there with a half a cut.
Yeah, he's got to shave that off, man. Just go bald.
Start over
and it grow back. But yeah, man. Any closing thoughts? Any closing remarks?
I always forget. But when's your birthday?
Thursday. Next Thursday, 11th.
Oh, next Thursday. Yeah. So yours is next Thursday, and mine is
13th, right?
Yeah, Saturday, I think.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm in the streets on my birthday, man. My 35th. I'm out here in the streets now.
That's why Murphy extended the hours for you, brother. He said,
yeah, I called him up, man. I was like, yo, man, it's a real one's birthday coming up.
It's a real one's
open
birthday.
up these streets.
He's like, done.
Now we'll see. But all right, there's nothing else. This is the Second One podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We'll get with you guys next time.